My name is John Boogz. I am a director, choreographer, and a movement artist. I started off dancing really young. My mother was really big into musicals, but even bigger into Michael Jackson. And if you look at Michael Jackson's style, he has a lot of street dance in his repertoire and in his choreography and his movement. And I was like so obsessed with the way that he moved that it sent me down this rabbit hole of wanting to learn how to do what he did, which kind of opened up the door to me becoming a street dancer. I definitely took a major leap of faith going to Los Angeles, had no clue how hard it was gonna be or how tough it was gonna be. I had never been to LA a day in my life, and I decided to just up and move there to go pursue a career in choreography and dance and directing. And when I first got out there, I was living in motels for a couple months because I didn't have good enough credit to even get an apartment. And then by the time I did get an apartment, I was living with about 4 or 5 people in a 1-bedroom apartment, just to be able to afford a place to live out there. But I think that was just the journey I was destined to be on. When I first moved to Los Angeles, there was really nobody doing what I was trying to do with my artistry. There was tons of street dancers from all over the world, but not everybody was trying to use the art form of street dance to tell powerful narratives and tell stories with actual substance and depth to them. And it was very hard because usually people kind of just go with whatever is successful, or they follow whatever trend is going to make them money or make them successful. But I wanted to stand out. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be myself, but I couldn't really see myself in the industry. There was nobody I could point to and say, oh, that person's doing what I want to do or what I see in my head. I think I started to find my unique voice once I moved to Las Vegas and I started Cirque du Soleil. I'm forever grateful to Cirque because it gave me the time and, more importantly, the financial freedom to kind of figure out what I really wanted to do with my artistry. Before then, I was just trying to pay rent. I was street performing every day and just trying to figure out how to pay bills. And when you're trying to figure out how to pay bills, you don't really have the time to figure out what your long-term goal is, what the longevity plan is. And Cirque du Soleil finally gave me that time to really think about who is John Boogz long-term. That's kind of how I started to create my first couple of short films and started to realize that I really love storytelling, I really love directing, I really love street dance, and I want to find a way to mold all of those things that I love together to present just like my own unique style and approach. Bruce Lee's philosophy has affected my artistry tremendously. There's so many things that he stood for that I stand for. You know, Bruce always talked about honestly expressing oneself, not lying to oneself, and truly being yourself is one of the most difficult things to do. And that's what I try to do every time I put out a piece of art, every time I dance, every time I express myself. I'm trying to give the audience an honest, truthful vision of who I am. I think my ultimate end goal is to create cultural currency. You want to leave art behind that stands the test of time, or leave some art behind that hopefully opens up doors for other artists that look like me, do the art that I do, and hopefully I create new paths and new lanes where there weren't paths and lanes before. So as Bruce Lee would say, the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind. Be water. Be formless, shapeless. One family. Be water. To express oneself honestly, not lying to oneself. And to express myself honestly, not that, my friend, is very hard to do.